These are the plaintiffs, Carolyn and Stanford Wilson. They say their son-in-law, the defendant, smashed a window in their house and refuses to pay for it, even though the cops are investigating. Shame on him for doing something like that. They're suing for $417.06, the cost of a new window. This is the defendant, Earl Davis. He says he categorically denies breaking anyone's window, and he doesn't care if the police are investigating it because he's innocent, and the cops will find no evidence he did anything because he didn't. He's accused of smashing glass.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiffs say the defendant smashed a window in their house and will not own up to it and pay up. But the defendant says he categorically denies breaking the plaintiff's window and refuses to pay for something he didn't do. It's the case of smashing my way into court.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Wilson, apparently your daughter used to date Mr. Davis?
She married Mr. Davis. She is married to Mr. Davis.
Are they together again?
As far as we know, they're still married.
All right, tell me what happened. In August of 2020, the two of them separated, correct?
Yes.
And they were fighting about a car that they had that was in her name. And what did your daughter end up doing?
To our knowledge, she took the car and she had the locks changed and had a new remote, and she took possession of the car without his knowledge.
Okay. And then things got nasty between them. Did your daughter alert you to any potential problems, any threats that he was making?
Yes, she sent us the text messages that he had been sending to her about threats of what he would do to us, our property, or our cars, or have someone else do it. Yes. Or do it to, or have someone else do it on his behalf.
Okay. Now, on August 28th, 3 days after those texts, according to you, you come home and what do you discover?
I came home and noticed the curtain. There was something different about the curtain. So when I looked at it, I noticed the glass on the floor and the window was broken. And at that time, I told Carol, well, he did it. He went through with it.
And that occurred at 8:54 a.m. My husband does dialysis in the morning, and I was out working.
Mr. Davis, what's going on?
Well, me and my wife, we had a lot of misunderstandings, and things didn't work out with us during this time. And I woke up one morning with my car being missing, and she was in denial about seeing the car. She kept telling me to call towing companies, call the police, tow pound and lots. And I was just like confused, like, well, where's my car? And she denied it for a long period of time. And a lot of people in my family was upset. I was upset. And I mean, I just purchased the car that was just came up missing out of the blue. So I just didn't know what else to do about the situation. I kept calling her to have her report the car stolen. She didn't want to. And then later on down the line, it got out that she had the car taken and removed from me.
And what's this about texts and you threatening her parents, which have nothing to do with what happened?
Welcome back to the People's Court. So did the defendant actually threaten his ex's parents? Let's go back into the courtroom.
I was reaching out to her parents. I was trying to get people to talk with her and get her to return the car so we could work this thing out. And I apologized to him. I still am apologizing to him today, about the actions that took place. But I wasn't the one who actually did the window.
Well, somebody maliciously broke that window. And let's look at the text to see if we can figure out who. It's going down. I'm going to your dad's house to tow cars away now, or whatever. My money get done. Let's stress him out. Or they might have extra money for windows. We'll see. Did you text that to your wife?
Yes, I did text that, but I didn't actually do the windows. I was pretty upset.
No. Then you mention their address and you say somebody will pay. Once blank starts happening, don't worry. Your people got money to replace things. They not complaining yet, but they will be soon. Thanks for starting blank. People do thirsty for money. I'll have it done for 20. Your people got to feel some of this pressure since nobody can talk to your special blank. Did you text that to your wife?
I don't recall. I was drinking back then. I know I text some things, but I don't actually know.
Are you and your wife together again, or are you guys separated?
We're trying to work things out now.
So, and then you say, so tell them where to hide their cars. We'll see if Stan's got 500 for windows too. That's a second reference to breaking windows. So here is a promise to do it again and again to infinity. On my way to get you now. How's your daughter over there with him when he hasn't paid for the darn windows? How is he not arrested? Did you call the police when this happened, and did you tell them that you suspected he was the one who did it?
Oh, yes, for sure.
You gotta be kidding me. What kind of fool is gonna think that anyone other than you busted up that window? Who is gonna believe you on that? And then you're trying to get back, or you're trying to work it out, obviously, and it gets this far 4 months later in court, and not just any court, the people's court. That's how far you let this go without paying for these poor people's window? Are you kidding me? This is your idea of trying to work it out?
I apologize, but I still feel, that, I got different family members that care about me, but I don't, agree. Don't nobody agree to things being taken from them. And, I just... Yeah,
but let me tell you what that entitles you to do. That entitles you to call the police and to try to get the car back. Let me tell you what it doesn't entitle you to do. To turn around to get back at her and break these nice people's window. That's what it doesn't entitle you to do. $417.06. Verdict for the plaintiffs. Do you think these people are ever going to feel love towards you after that, where you can't even admit that you did it?
Never.
Verdict for the plaintiffs. I'm sorry.
You treated him good.
Thank you, Judge Milian.
I know.
Thank you.
So the plaintiffs are going to get their money, all $417 of it. Mr. Davis, you just caught the wrath of the judge. What are you thinking? How do you respond to this?
Well, I'm pretty shook up because I didn't think that he was going to be in their favor. But, I totally took the blame for, getting my items taken away, but hopefully I can be able to grow from this and they'll accept my apology and understand that I really was down and out hurt. And I just know it'll never happen again. I just know that.
Well, we'll see how it works out. Interestingly, the judge lets you have it, no question about it. Mr. and Ms. Wilson, let me ask you, what do you feel now? You're going to get the money. What do you feel about the defendant? How do you feel about him?
Pity.
It's a shame that he would go to us for something that happened with my daughter and him. It's just senseless.
Two grown adults, and we have nothing to do with what they do in their lives or with their lives. And for him to punish us for their misunderstandings, it was just
totally
wrong.
Ridiculous.
Think you'd ever let him back into your home again? What do you think? How do you respond to that?
No.
Never.
As judges, Marilyn, sometimes we're called upon to try to undo a mystery or sort out something and figure out who did something or who failed to do something. But this case was not a whodunit. I think everybody knew who done it. It was pretty obvious, right?
Right. I can't believe he still denied it. I really expected that. Didn't you expect that he was just going to say, look, I'm so sorry. Right. I was a bad time of my life. I was
time
drinking.
To make it up.
I'm really sorry I did that. He still denied he did it.
And
still self-interested.
He laid it all out. It just takes a tiny bit of deductive reasoning. You look at it, it's like, I'm going to break your parents' window. I hope they have $500. Well, he was off by like $82 and 91 cents, right? He was almost right there. He almost had it down to the penny of what it was going to cost them, etc. And then, boom, it happens.
I mean, apparently she has decided that's who she wants to be with in her life.
Right.
And she is a grown woman and she can decide that. But, you know, she doesn't get to decide that for her parents.
No.
I'm kind of glad that they, you know, drew the line in the sand there.
Alan wants to know this. Hey, Harvey, I have seen litigants leave the courtroom before the final verdict. Aren't they in contempt? You know, not really, but when they leave, I gotta tell you, it ain't doing them any favors because then they can't address what the judge wants to hear. They are a competitive disadvantage and probably will lose. We'll see you next time.